What's up guys, it's Caden, back with you guys on a video. So for this, it's going to be something that I've gotten asked a lot of times. Comparison between the Diadem and the Empire Defender. Honestly, I don't think it's too fair of a comparison, but since there really isn't any other guns to compete with the two, they end up indirectly competing with each other. That's why a lot of people ask me, yeah, this is going to be probably a very long and ranty video. Don't know how long it's going to take. But I'm just going to try and touch on as many points as I can through my knowledge that I've gotten. I owned a dam for about a year and a half, and I've had a Defender now for, I don't know, maybe 6 months, maybe a little less than that. But I also owned an axe before the Defender, and I actually owned 3 axes, and a Defender has axe internals, so it pretty much shoots the same, and I've got some experience in that department as well. So yeah, like I said, this is not organized. I just have some points jot down on a note card, and I'm just kind of going to jump around from stuff to stuff. So if you really aren't interested in this topic, this is going to be a crazy boring video. But yeah, I guess I'll jump right into it. Price, very controversial, but back when the Defender first launched, it was $1,300, and the Dam was $1,300 as well. So back then, I would have said, hey, get a Dam, because it offers more than a Defender for the same price. But now, Dams are running about $1,500 for like the normal colors, and if you want the dye camo one, which is like what I had, it's $1,650, whereas the Defender is $999. So now before all of the people from the Diadem forums come jump on this video and shoot dislikes at it and just like rage it off the internet, you can find dams used, and I would recommend buying a dam used, not buying a new one. You've got to be pretty darn crazy or just have an excess amount of money if you're going to buy new, because you can buy used ones for like half the price of a new one. I sold my whole setup for $1,100, which was a die-cam dam in perfect condition with like a version 3 bolt, box rotor, 16 mags, mag pouches, just tons of stuff, and sold it for $1,100. Just because that's the way the market is. Defender on the other hand is $999. Got one off eBay for $900 because it was like a showroom demo model. Price per dollar, like what you get. I think neither of them are that great of a value, but like I said, there's really nothing else competing with the two. They honestly don't have competitors besides themselves, and they're very different guns in my opinion. So yeah, over on the Defender side, you've got an axe, just like $450, and a Z2, which is like $200, and you throw them in a magnesium body, and you've got a Defender. Obviously, they get linked with like a different board, so when you pull the trigger, the rotor spins, and it's in the hopper and whatnot. It's in a magnesium body, which is somewhat expensive. But what a lot of people overlook is it does come with a full free kit. So it comes with 2 different freak barrels, one with an apex, one without an apex, and 3 inserts. So that kind of makes up for it in a way. But with the whole thing, I think the Defender is a crazy ugly gun. Some people like it, but I know a lot of people don't, and I completely agree. It's god ugly. But it is pretty ergonomic when you pick one up, and they're pretty light. So if you do ever have a chance to hold one and play with one, they feel really good in the hands. And when I'm shooting it, I'm not staring at my gun, so I'm kind of okay with that. So I guess that kind of sums up that. You do not get a good carrying case with the Defender. You just get like a cardboard box. It's essentially the same thing an axe comes with, but blown up to fit a Defender inside. So yeah, so jumping over to the Dam side of things, it's essentially a proto rail, re-engineered in a metal body again. So again, not too much value for your money. But this time, instead of coming with a barrel kit, it comes with a die ultralight barrel, which I would rather have the barrel kit, but the ultralight is, no doubt, still a good barrel. But the big selling point of the Dam is that it can do pretty much everything. So if you take the shrouds off, if you take off the stock, and you just run it bare bones, it's pretty lightweight, and it's pretty much a proto rail with a different body, and then you could go out and play speedball. Throw a rotor on it in a tank, and you almost have a speedball gun. And you throw the shrouds on, you can throw a box rotor on it. Again, box rotor's next to $400, but you can throw a box rotor on it, and now you have this super heavy gunner that's just freaking sweet. Or you can run mags with first strikes and play magfed. So you can play magfed, you can be a heavy gunner, you can go play speedball. You can honestly do anything you want with a Dam. But the best way, I'll go into the whole thing of doing everything later, but I feel like the Defender is kind of like a specialist of one category. because if you want to be like a heavy gunner type role with like a larger gun, the hopper and the stock and everything, I feel like the Dfender works a lot better at what it does than a dam plus a box rotor. So if you're just going to run your dam with your box rotor and then a Dfender, and you just want to say, hey, which one works better, I would go with the Dfender. The Dfender just works better. But again, it only has one thing to do. That's all it does. The dam, on the other hand, can play mag fed. You can throw a normal rotor on it. You have like so many more options with the dam. So if you are going to utilize all the options, then that's great. You might want to go with that. If you're just going to utilize one option, in this case, you know, the box rotor versus the hopper and the stock, I would say go with the Dfender, because for what the Dfender does, it does a lot better than the dam. But if you want to factor in all the options the dam can do, then maybe in that case it could win for you. I kind of got off tangent. I was kind of trying to focus on price and what you get, but the dam can shoot first strikes. It can be mag fed. It does come with a really nice carrying case, which some people overlook, but I like to look for that in a gun, and it does come with a really nice one. You get die support. You get things like color-coded O-rings in the gun. You know, just kind of like die is generally a higher-end company, and so you get a little bit of those little extra goodies in a sense. I still do think, in general, the Dfender is a better value for the buck now that it's 1,000 versus 1,300, and the dam jumped from 1,300 up to 1,500, and you still have to buy a box rotor if you really want to, in my opinion, like get full advantage. And if you're going to play mag fed, you obviously have to buy mags and so on and so forth. You can see how it kind of spins and spirals down to the point where you're paying a lot more. In my opinion, the dam looks a lot better than the Dfender. In addition, you're just stuck with the way the Dfender is. You're not going to change the shroud. You're not going to put a new stock on it. The only thing you're going to do is slap on your Tipman ACOG scope and go snipe some people across the map. Okay, you know you're not going to change the look of the gun. You're going to throw a different barrel on it and be like, woo, yay! It's like a speed bug gun. Okay. The dam, on the other hand, you can add more shrouds. You can take shrouds off. You can change the stock. The buffer tube's not standard on the stock because you know Dye doesn't want you to like go in and buy other people's stuff. But people do sand down the buffer tubes and fit stocks on there, so it can be done. It is done all the time. Just like the way they connect the shroud is proprietary, but you can always take one of your shroud things and cut it off so that all you have is the connector part, and then somehow, you know, mod that onto whatever shroud you actually want to get and put it on like that. So, and you know, the dam is much more versatile as far as like customization, and you can do a lot more with it as far as looks go, and I think right out the get-go it looks a lot better anyways.
Am I good?
So now I'll kind of go into like that whole functionality thing I was talking about earlier with, you know, the dam doing everything and the Dfender being somewhat specialized. So, in my opinion, if you were to come to me and say, you know, Caden, I want one gun, I'm going to have one gun forever, I would just tell you to get a dam, because it can pretty much do everything. If you're just going to have one gun, you get a dam. If you're okay with owning two guns, then I would say get a Dfender. Because the way I look at it is, if you're wanting to play mag fed and big games and everything else, then you might be leaning towards the dam because it can do everything. But for the same price, I feel like you can do a little better if you're okay with owning two guns and kind of taking some more time to look around. Because even the people who are diehard mag fed fans, you still go to big games, you still do other stuff, and let's be honest, even if you love mag fed to heart, you probably don't want to play it all the time. So, you know, that's where the Dfender kind of comes in. It's still tactical. It's not like you're running around with your neon green speedball gun, but at the same time, it's not mag fed. So, again, if you want one gun, you get a dam. Because, I mean, the dam in general is a lot more finicky. If you go to the dam forums, everyone's always like freaking out, and it's really funny to see all of the people commenting and whatnot of, oh, version 1 bull, version 2 bull. And I'm not really going to go into all that, because if you know how to take care of the gun and you lube it and you do everything you're supposed to, the dam's going to treat you right. If you still have like all the version 1 hardware, then you just call Dye up and you send your version 1 stuff, and they'll send you the version 3 stuff, and it's really easy to get sorted out. So I'm not going to throw that as like a negative aspect against the dam. If you treat the dam right, you know, it's going to treat you back right. In general, I think you can beat a Dfender up more and treat it, you know, a lot less good. Less good. You can treat the Dfender a lot worse, and it'll still perform for you. So in that aspect, reliability and stuff, I think the Dfender wins. But if you're one of those people who comes home and you clean your gun, and I mean you should be if you're gonna own a couple $1,000 gun. If you're gonna put in the time to clean it and everything, then you should not worry about reliability of either one. So as far as like going back to the whole mag fed thing, so the DAM has 20 round mags, and each mag has 2 stacks of 10. So you shoot 10, you take your mag out, you flip it around, you put it back in, and you shoot 10, and that's your 20 round mag. I'm not going to count that as a negative because I know there are some people who like the 2 stacks of 10. It's like a Rap 4D mag in a sense. Personally, I really don't like 2 stacks of 10. I don't like shooting 10 balls and then having to flip my mag around. I'd rather just shoot 20 continuous. And that goes into if you are okay with owning a Dfender and another dedicated mag fed marker, then I think it is better than just having a DAM. But again, if you like that dual, dual stick mags, whatever you want to call them, where they have 2 stacks of 10, then yeah, I mean, DAM would be a better option. Again, like the DAM can shoot first strikes because it can do mag fed, where the Dfender can't. And of course, the DAM can use the box rotor, which the box rotor is really cool. Now I'll tell you, a DAM with a box rotor is crazy heavy, like significantly heavier than a Dfender. So if you're at all concerned about weight, don't go with a DAM because it's got the box rotor. The box rotor is freaking huge. Not to mention the box rotor is like in the front of the gun, so the center weight or whatever, just losing whatever the word is. Most of the weight is in front of the gun, in the front, so it's all going to be supported by like whatever hand you have on your front shroud. Whereas all the Dfender's weight is in the back, like the hopper and everything. It doesn't really have a hopper, but the hopper is essentially built into the stock, so it's all of your weight is like up against your shoulder, and it makes it really easy to maneuver because the whole front of the gun is just crazy light. It's just that magnesium body in the front with a couple of electronics. Everything's in the back, whereas in the DAM, everything's in the front. So even though it's not that much heavier, like on a scale, it feels like 3 or 4 times heavier. That is something to keep in mind. But so let me just go on to like what I think the ideal setups and everything is. Again, like I said, I'm just jumping around. This is completely out of order. It might make no sense. It might make sense. I don't really know. If it gets posted, it makes enough sense to get posted. That's the way I'm looking at it. But I think the best setup would honestly be a Dfender. Okay, this is the best setup if you want to play MagFed. If you don't want to play MagFed, then I would just say get a Dfender. But if you want to play MagFed, I think the best setup is to get a Dfender and an M17. Or like an X7 with a Takamo kit. Or some other dedicated MagFed gun. Because you can get let's say you get a Dfender for $9.99. Then you can spend $300 on a mil-sig CQC and another $100 on mags, and you have a Dfender and a CQC for $1,300, and that's your setup. Granted, you could for like $1,100 or $1,200 get a full DAM setup. They're honestly not getting sold every day, and that would be used versus buying the Dfender and the M17 new. You can get even less if you buy a used M17 or in a used Dfender. But honestly, you'd be crazy to buy a new DAM, so you got to go used. And they don't come, they're not sold used that often. And as far as like where you should buy them, go to the DIDAM forums on Facebook, and that's if you actually own a DAM, you can go there, and that's where you can ask a bunch of questions and whatnot. If you want to buy one, there's DIDAM BST on Facebook, and there's also the MagFed BST on Facebook. So that's where you're going to find like, M17s, DIDAMs, all sorts of MagFed guns being sold. So that's as far as like getting them, used and whatnot. But if you have your heart on getting a new gun, I would say get a Dfender and an M17 for playing MagFed. For not playing MagFed, just get a Dfender. Now, if you honestly just love the looks of the DAM, which is like what I did, I just thought it looked absolutely gorgeous, and you can deal with the extra cost and everything, then you can get a DAM. You're really not going to be too disappointed with either. You're not going to be like, oh man, I hate this gun. But I do think in general, like, I'll give you an example. When I would go to air up my DAM, because when I first got it, it had all version 1 hardware, because I got it, a while ago. And every time I'd air it up, I'd like be freaking out inside hoping that it doesn't leak or the bolts stick forward or just something bad happens, because that was a pretty common occurrence. Granted, it was easy to fix. I'd take it apart, I'd lube it, turn down the pressure, or turn down the velocity, and I could fix things like that. But it was just a really common occurrence. It straight up didn't like to work when I first got it. I'd leave it aired up the whole day because I thought if I degassed it and then aired it up again, something could go wrong. And, that would happen when I first got it, and airing it up and degassing it and whatnot. But, after getting version 3 hardware and whatnot, that stuff never happened. And, obviously I knew how to take care of the gun and whatnot. So, but that sinking feeling from, like, the previous 6 months was still, like, always inside me, kind of, which sounds weird. But, I don't know, I just never felt, like, super satisfied that it was always going to work when I got it out of my gear bag. The Dfender, I'm, like, beyond confident, because I've owned 3 axes. I've never actually had an axe leak, which, I should probably, like, knock on wood. But I just love the axe platform to death, and I think it's really good, so I'm fine with them. When the Dfender first came out, everyone's like, oh, they should have put Vanquish hardware in it. And the Vanquish is like the high-end Empire speedball gun. Dude, my brother's a Vanquish, and that thing is so finicky. So I'm totally fine with having axe hardware. The axe could be sold for $700, and it would still sell, because it's just that good of a speedball gun. It is, honestly, like, if you're going to get a speedball gun, you're going to get an axe. Right now, I'm just crazily going off topic. Again, this is just like a ranting video, and you should only watch it if you're at all interested in dams and defenders. But I'm just gonna close up the video right now, end it just by saying, get either one you want, because that's really what it comes down to. But my personal opinion, from my experience, I would say get a Defender, and if you want to play MagFed, get a MagFed gun with it. And not get a dam. That being said, like, if Dye announces that they're coming out with a dam version 2, and like it's hard set in stone that it's gonna come out, first thing I'm gonna do is sell my Defender and MagFed gun and wait for that, because I feel like that would be the best gun. If Dye just took into account, what we said bad about the dam, which is just very small things, like, maybe they made a 20-round continuous mag and little things like that, then I really think the dam would be the best. But for now, I think the Defender takes the win. So, yeah, that is just my quick comparison between the Defender and the dam. If I missed anything, or you think something else should be added, leave in the comments. If you think this comparison sucked, which it probably well did, you can dislike it. If you thought you got some information out of it, and that it was possibly worth your time, like it. But yeah, see you guys next time.